Good evening and welcome to our first ever virtual athletics parent meeting live on YouTube. For those that are new to athletics, my name is Ari Lieberman. I'm the Director of Athletics, Health, and PE for the district. Our families are the backbone of this department, and I thank you for being a part of Liverpool athletics and particularly your flexibility over this last crazy year. Tonight we will be going over important information for the Fall 21 sports season. I'm not going to overwhelm you with a lot of specific sport information tonight, just the basics to get you started for the fall. The chat will also be open for questions, and Mrs. Eames and myself will do our best to answer as many of them as time allows this evening. And I don't have a lot for you, so I anticipate plenty of time for questions. First and foremost, mark these dates on your calendar. The start date for JV and varsity fall sports will be August 23rd, 21. 7th and 8th grade modified sports will begin August 30th. Please also get used to checking our website for important information seasonally. Everything up to date should be there as we move forward throughout the season. By July 16th, we hope to have all of our fall sports tryout and practice locations, times, etc. posted on our webpage, and I'm confident we will be able to do that. So right now I'm going to take you quickly to what the web page looks like on the LCSD athletics page. You'll see if you click on departments and then athletics, you will see myself and Mrs. Eames, the athletic secretary, there on the main page. If you continue to scroll down the page, that is where we will post our necessary tryout and practice information and any other special events related to athletics. If you scroll down a little bit further, it's really hard to miss the Register Now Family ID button. That is very important. All 7th and 8th graders or new students to Liverpool Central School District should get used to calling Mrs. Eames and checking here for up-to-date information. Now getting back to Family ID and registration. I'm going to click on this button to take you through what this would look like if you were registering your child. As I click on the button, you'll see it brings us to our page on Family ID. You'll scroll down and see our nurse information with their very important contact information. You will see there as well. Now you see where it shows programs on the page, and it says there are currently no programs published for this organization. That is correct, because on July 24th, that will open for our JV and varsity sports 30 days prior to the start of their season. On July 31st, Family ID will be open to all our 7th and 8th grade modified athletes, and you will see those dates ticking on the bottom of the screen. At this point, if you have any questions on that, please enter them in the chat, as I'm going to move away from the district webpage at this time. I'd like to talk for a moment about academic eligibility. Liverpool has an academic eligibility policy where all students must maintain a 70 average to remain eligible for interscholastic athletics. That being said, if your child or children have had a difficult time over the past year academically, you are always eligible for an appeal. To make that appeal and set that meeting up, you will need to contact the athletic office so we can make those proper arrangements and schedule your appointment. I look to schedule those appointments the week of August 9th and August 16th. Please also mark those dates on your calendar. If you have any questions on eligibility or anything else related to sign-ups, please don't hesitate to contact our office. I also want to take a moment to talk about game schedules. All game schedules are available on schedulegalaxy.com, which is also, they also have an app which you can download. Go to the App Store and you can download that, and that is real time. As we make changes to our game schedules for weather related cancellations or for whatever it might be, those updates will be made right away and available to you so you know where your children are that day. That is also scrolling the bottom of the screen, as well as our Twitter handle, which I also use very, very frequently. I do realize not all parents are familiar with Twitter. Not all parents are familiar with using social media in this fashion, but I encourage you to follow us at LCSD Athletics. While we're talking about Twitter, I'd like to touch on social media if I could. This is a very difficult time for all of us with our young children regarding social media. Please do your best to maintain some control over what they are posting related to athletics, related to their teams, and anything specifically negative that may affect the team in any way or your child. I also want to touch base on spectatorship. We are an educational institution. We have expectations of conduct on school property or at away contests as well. We must be respectful at all times. Please be classy and represent Liverpool in a tremendous fashion that you always do. At this time, I would like to move into our web page just one more time. Sorry, Mr. Yost. If you could look for me at the left side of the page and scroll to the second bar, fall, sports, and team schedules. This is where all of our teams are listed for the fall, as well as every head coach's email you'll see directly linked on that page. If you or your child have, please do not hesitate to contact them using the contact information you'll see right here on the left side of this page. Once again, you will also see some other pertinent information on the left side of that page. Feel free to peruse that when you have time, but that is not critical for fall. Tonight, I just want to give you the information that's critical to the beginning of fall sports. Lastly, before I start answering some questions, I want to encourage folks to not hesitate to contact the athletic department if there are concerns that you are having with your child. And when I say that, I truly don't mean playing time issues. What I mean is if you feel that your child is being negatively affected, treated by a coach or a teammate or anybody else in this program, I encourage you please to contact us. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. And I truly hope this was helpful for you. And I intend on answering as many questions as we can. I'm sure we are going to have a number of questions related to COVID-19, and I hope I can answer all those for you as well. I'm not sure if I will be able to, but I will certainly do everything in my power. With that,
so far no questions.
Okay, so far we've got no questions. I will talk a little bit about Spectators. In the fall, at the current time, we will be having state championships in New York State. We have also not been instructed that there will be new capacity limitations. The current capacity limitations on stadiums and outdoor athletic events will remain in place until New York State and the New York State Public High School Athletic Association make any adjustments to that. Some of you that have had students in athletics this year for 2021 and your child tested positive for COVID, you had to complete a return to COVID questionnaire. At this time, we will still make that mandatory for anybody that tested positive for COVID-19. Again, if there are any questions on that, please don't hesitate to contact us here in the athletic office so we can clear any of that up for you and we don't prolong any doctor's appointments or anything of that nature that might prohibit your child from beginning on those August 23rd and August 30th start dates for the fall 21 sports season. I would also like to let everybody know that because we changed the format this year and went to a virtual meeting, and we did not set up breakout rooms for this, I would like all of the parents to know that the coaches will be individually setting up those parent meetings. Some of them have already arranged Google Meets. Some of them have already set up Google Classrooms. So we're going to try our best to make sure that we answer any questions you have from now until that summer, August 23rd date and August 30th. At this time, I'm gonna have to sign off. I encourage you, now that this is up on our YouTube channel, it is on LCSD Athletics Channel 1. Please feel free to watch this again should you have any questions regarding any of the information that was shared here. I realized I did go kind of fast, but again, as I said in the beginning, I want to keep this pretty basic for you. I encourage you, if you have specific sport questions, again, please tap into the coach's emails on the left side of the athletics page. Anything?
They said girls gymnastics. Who do we contact with the ESM combining? The boys modified volleyball team.
Yeah.
Are there tryouts for modified prior to the August 30th date? When do physicals have to be by? There's a lot of questions coming in now.
Okay. So let's start with the first question. If you have a child that is in 7th through 12th grade and is a gymnast, our athletic program combines with East Syracuse Manoa for girls gymnastics in the fall, and you should contact our office as soon as possible, and we will give you any information that you would need to be a part of that approved combination with East Syracuse Manoa.
Will 9th grade be in the annex? If not, who will be the nurses?
The 9th graders next year will be moving up to the main building, and all of the nursing staff will be up here at the main building. We will have at least 2 full-time nurses here at all times. So if you are a 9th grader, incoming 9th grader, you will register at the main building site. It will say something to the effect of Liverpool High School Fall 21 Sports Registration.
Is there a boys modified volleyball team?
Our intention moving forward is to create a modified boys volleyball team for 7th and 8th graders. More details to follow on that. That season will not begin August 30th. The modified boys volleyball season at the current time is in our Winter 2 season, which will begin after the Christmas holiday break. So we will have more information and specifics for you on the boys volleyball team. And Coach Terzini, our varsity head coach, will have more on that as well to share with you as we get a little closer with the details for that.
Last year there was a waiver for health exams. Will there be one this year?
Very good question. The question was, last year there was a waiver for health exams. Will there be one this year? The answer to that is we have not received any further guidance from the state education department. However, we are asking all student athletes to provide an updated physical to the nurse's office from the 2021 school year forward. If you have any questions on that, you can contact your nurse's office directly regarding questions on physicals. If we receive any information in the meantime from State Ed or the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, we would post that information immediately on the district athletics page. Very good questions.
Is there a difference between the two modified 7-8 football teams, or are there just two independent teams?
Another great question. The question was, is there a difference between our two 7th and 8th grade football teams? The two 7th and 8th grade teams, they practice together. They do much of everything together with the exception of play. Our orange team and our blue team are equally divided among all our 7th and 8th graders in the school district.
Are there tryouts for modified prior to the August 30th date?
Are there tryouts prior to the August 30th date? August 30th is the first eligible day for all 7th and 8th grade athletes. So the answer to that question would be no. That is the first day of tryouts for them. And August 23rd is the first day of tryouts and or practice for all our JV and varsity athletes. So there is nothing mandatory prior to those two dates for any of our student athletes. Many teams will be doing stuff throughout the summer, but those are not mandatory events.
So for boys cross country, there is only modified or varsity, no JV for 9th graders.
That is correct. For cross country, we offer 7th and 8th grade for our 7th and 8th grade students, and we offer a varsity program for cross country. All students from 9th through 12th grade would be eligible for that varsity program. And any specific cross-country questions, you would need to contact Coach Tracy Vanetta, and her email is there on that athletics page on the left side under Fall Sports.
Will there be shuttle buses?
Shuttle buses for the fall for 7th and 8th graders is something that I am not 100% sure on. Another excellent question. I hope to be working out the details of that also by that July 16th date that we hope to have all fall information posted on our website.
Will there be cuts for modified football since there are two teams?
There will not be cuts for modified football. Quite frankly, we do not have any cuts for football. All students that come out for football, pending any serious safety issues, will remain part of our football team.
Will sports physicals be offered at school, and when are they due by?
So sports physicals is a question that I will be in contact with Dr. Cristiano about. At this time, we have not set any sports physicals here at the school. And as far as when they are due to the nurse's office or uploaded to your family ID registration prior to the start of the season. So if JV and varsity sports begin August 23rd, we really like to have all those registrations complete with updated physicals by, at minimum, the Friday prior to that.
Will people be able to take their masks off?
Will people be able to take their masks off? At the current time, outdoor athletic activities do not require masks. The indoor activities in school buildings at this time still do require masks. So that is the answer to that question at this time, pending more guidance from the governor, New York State Ed, and the New York State Public High School Athletic Association. But our fall sports that will be outdoors will not require mask wearing.
7th grade playing boys golf.
Good question. So the question was, are seventh graders eligible to play boys golf? In Liverpool, boys golf, tennis, and bowling are the only three sports that 7th graders are eligible to move up for. Please contact our office if that is the case for your child, and we will help you go through the APP process for moving your child up into a varsity sport. The rest of our sports, it is a board policy that nobody below the 8th grade will be eligible for a JV or varsity sport, regardless of ability level.
Since there were no breakout rooms for individual sports this year, will links to individual Google Meets be posted somewhere?
The links to the individual Google Meets would certainly be posted here on the athletics page. Some of our sports, our field hockey has already sent one out to prospective athletes. But as we get moving here in the next couple of weeks, we will have all that information available to you. I encourage you to email those coaches directly should you have questions regarding fall sports.
So for 8th grade football, that's JV.
So 7th and 8th graders are currently only eligible for modified football. 8th graders would not be eligible for for JV or varsity football unless they went through the advanced placement process. If that is a question that you have regarding an 8th grader moving up to JV or varsity, you can also contact Coach Mancuso via email or contact the athletic office so we can help you navigate through that. Those are very, very rare cases. The majority of our 7th and 8th graders participate on our 7-8 blue or our 7-8 orange team.
Are there cuts for girls tennis or golf?
Question is, are there cuts for girls tennis? There are not cuts for girls tennis, and there are no cuts for girls golf or boys golf.
Are the sports on the websites accurate for each season? You mentioned 2 sessions of volleyball, but only listed in fall.
That is correct. That's an excellent question. The varsity volleyball for boys and girls play in the fall due to the fact that the New York State Championships are in the fall season. Our 7th and 8th grade girls begin November 1st for their season, so much more information to follow on that. And the boys modified volleyball, as I said, will be after the holiday break in January. It's an excellent question.
What is the timeline for filling the vacant fall coaching positions?
The timelines on coaching positions is not something that we're going to discuss today. We look for qualified candidates and we fill them as we see fit.
Here's one more. Will modified sports be impacted by the changes in 2022 with redistricting of schools? Will there be a modified team for each middle school?
That's a very good question. With the impact that Education 2020 is going to have on us as we shuffle different people in different buildings and the impact that adding another middle school will have to our district, we will be looking at the way we formulate our modified teams, but we will still continue to offer as many opportunities, if not more. We have not decided how we would break those teams up just yet, but much more to come on that. It's a great question.
That's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. This was new to us, and I hope it was informative. Once again, I really appreciate you being here tonight. I encourage you again, I've said it a million times, I'll say it one more. Please check our website for updated information. Don't hesitate to email us, call us. Great questions this evening. Have an excellent summer, and I hope to see everybody in the fall.